Hey everybody, it's Wayne. Let's get you an update for week 11 of 2023. We're going to go ahead and do things a little bit different this time around. I really want to give some more focus to some covered calls that I have been working throughout the year and a change in my stance or outlook when it comes to a particular stock that I've been selling covered calls against, and that is going to be the iShares Russell 2000 stock ticker IWM. Let's go ahead and start things off with I own 100 shares of IWM. I picked these up in what I believe was November of 2022, and since then I've been selling covered calls on a regular basis. You'll see here that I own 100 shares. My cost basis is $175.95 per share, and currently I am down about 2.5%. If we look at Seeking Alpha, you can see for the last trailing 12 months, they are down, 16.5%. Year to date, not too bad. They're down only 1.25%. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the dividends on this. And this has kind of been the eye-opener for me on this. Currently, the dividend yield is only 1.51%. And I go back to when I have been selling covered calls against the stocks that I've owned, I've always had the mentality that no matter what, I do not want to part ways with those 100 shares. So my strategy with covered calls has been a little bit different than, let's say, running the wheel strategy, which I've been doing on Celsius as well as Amazon. When I sell covered calls against my other shares, I have genuine fear of assignment. I will do anything to not have those shares called away, and that's also been the case with IWM. Let's give you a rundown here. IWM, I was able to generate $1,000 in 2022. Not bad because I sold a total of 25 covered calls, but not bad because I only picked up those shares in November of 2022. Let's go ahead and jump to 2023, and I want to show you here the change of stance that I've since taken with IWM, and it really kind of goes back to what the market is currently doing, what the dividend yield is on IWM, and why have I had this fear of assignment when it comes to this particular stock. So if we look at what I've generated in income, I want to go ahead and pick things off where they last left off. And you can see here the January, I wrote a covered call. And from January till about early February, I was able to generate about $100 selling covered calls. But if you guys remember, January, we saw an incredible run up in the market overall. And what happens here is everything's reflected in orange. I had a strike price of 176. The stock price continued to go up. I had to roll that position. I had to roll it again to 178. I had to roll it to 182. I had to roll it to 185. When I am rolling out these positions, it's because I have fear of assignment. I do not want these shares to be called away. And it was really, for my portfolio, the wrong stance to take because I'm only getting 1.51%. Listen, I could take this $17,500 and I could leave that in my brokerage account and I could earn 4.15% on interest. And so now that we've seen how 2023 is beginning to play out, it makes more sense that I do not have any more fear of being assigned with this low cap stock. So what I did was in February, again, the stock price continued to go up. I did not want to be assigned, and so I was able to roll out my position, which was at 185. I was able to roll it out to June, getting a 190 strike price, and for that I earned $1,600 in premium. But you have to kind of look at this number and say, all right, well, he paid $1,594 to buy to close, and then he simultaneously opened up a new position. But what this did is it took me out of the game with selling covered calls against IWM for what's going to be the next 3 months. And, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, man, IWM was one of my better cash generators, cash generators in 2022. I go back over here to the spreadsheet. I made a lot of money here with Microsoft and Celsius and, of course, Amazon and Tesla. I killed it. But considering that I only began selling covered calls against IWM in November and I made $1,000, that really should be the focus, not holding on to my 100 shares because I don't want those shares to be called away, because I don't want to lose, that quarterly dividend payment. It really means nothing in the grand scheme of things. So what I did was I made a decision, rather than wait till June, with the markets currently being down this month, I bought to close early this position. And so I paid $283 to buy to close this position. And if you were to look at, okay, by doing that, I only earned at that point $107 because I bought to close this past week. But after I bought to close that position for $283, I immediately was able to open up another covered call. You can see here, the stock price has gone down significantly, and that's worked to my advantage with buying to close this earlier position. So, that's going to be my strategy going forward. One of the things that I love about IWM, and we'll go here to the options chain, you can sell covered calls or cash secured puts 3 days a week. And so if we look here, today is going to be Saturday, March 18th. And you can see here, I can sell a covered call that expires in 2 days, 4 days, 6 days, 9 days, 11 days. So much different. Most of the stocks that I sell covered calls against, I'm only able to write contracts once a week or once a month. IWM, much different. I can write a total of 3 calls per week, and I think that's going to work to my advantage. So I've got big predictions, if you will, for IWM. And yeah, I had to buy to close this contract for $280. But listen, since closing out that contract, you can see here, March 13th, through what would have been March 17th, I've been able to generate already $158 in just a few days. And so what I'm going to be doing moving forward with selling covered calls with IWM is I have no fear of assignment. Now let me put a point to that though. What has to happen though is I am going to only sell covered calls above my cost basis, which means if the share price is currently 171 and I own shares for 175, let's go ahead and just call it 176. I am not going to sell any covered calls below a 176 strike price, because if those shares are called away, I don't want to take any type of loss on the overall transaction. So I'm really excited, because if those shares are called away, guess what? That means that I'm going to have, a cash balance in my brokerage account of nearly $17,600, which means I can either turn around and sell a cash secured put on another stock. I can sell a cash secured put back on IWM. And if I don't get assigned or I don't sell cash secured puts, I'm still earning 4.15%. So let's go ahead and give you a look at all of the covered calls and cash secured puts that I sold this past week. So on the covered call side, the week beginning on March 13th, you guys can see I have been pretty busy with opening up positions, buying to close early. And from March 13th through March 17th, I opened a total number of positions, 23, and I was able to generate about $2,900. Now you have to remember, some of these are orange, so that reflects a roll. So we'll go ahead and show how that math works out, but there is a lot more gray than there is orange. And what that means is I am able to buy to close early versus having to roll my positions. Now, yesterday, or I should say the last couple of days, 3 or 4 stocks in particular, Meta, Amazon, IWM, and another Amazon, I did have to roll close those positions, but that's okay, because as of today, I have not yet been assigned early on any stocks that I've sold covered calls against. Again, that strategy has worked for me. I am continuously having to roll out those positions. I mentioned earlier, IWM, I no longer care if I am assigned. But with the other stocks, I do have concerns, especially if I am selling below my cost basis, which, truth be told, I am doing that on a few of my stocks. Let's go ahead and take a look here at cash secured puts. This means I don't own 100 shares, but I've entered the contract where I am agreeing to buy 100 shares if the strike price is reached by the expiration date. And one of the things that I have begun to explore is different stocks that have a lower price point. IWM, it's what, 176 per stock. Google, it's about $91 per stock. Celsius about $78 to $90 per stock. And so I have been looking at other stocks, so the TQQQ, TNA, SOXL. I'll let you guys do your own research on this, but you can see here much smaller price points. And so right here, I sold a cash secured put. On TQQQ, I sold two of them, one for a $22 strike price and one for a $21 strike price. And I've been able to earn some pretty generous premium this past week. So let's go ahead and give you an update. If we look at covered calls, so far I have sold a total of 194 contracts. I have earned a total in 2023 of $6,611. With the cash secured put side, I have sold a total of 21 cash secured puts from January to today, earning a total of $2,550. So this is the spreadsheet before I make the updates. And here we have it. These are the updated number on all of the covered calls and cash secured puts for 2023. Notice that I've also included what I am willing. This is something that I always sort of would mention at the end, but I decided I'm always showing you guys what that total number is, so why not include it in my spreadsheet? So right now, as you can see, I've written a total of 194 covered calls in 2023, earning $6,611. Far less cash secured puts that I've written. Remember, I'm trying to keep some cash in my brokerage in anticipation of what my tax liability is going to be for 2022. Stay tuned on that. But I've sold a total of 21 cash secured puts, earning $2,550. That's a total of $9,161. Not bad. We are only 3 months into the year. If we also include what I am willing, which is Celsius and Amazon, I've earned a total of $1,552. That's a total of $10,713. That's cash in my brokerage right now that I can use to pay my bills, buy other quality stocks. I can run more cash secured puts. One of the things that I'm going to be doing this year is finally opening a Roth IRA. That is one of the big mistakes that I have made in my investing life. I did not open a Roth IRA. Truth be told, I didn't think I could open one. And so now that I've done some research on the backdoor Roth IRA, that is going to be something I intend to do. And I hope to have that funded before the April deadline for tax year 2022. So why don't we go ahead and pivot to dividends that I earned for the 11th week of 2023. We'll go ahead and start off with Robinhood. You can see here, SBLK paid me $12.51 on March 14th. Whirlpool paid me $5.36. Old Republic, 25 cents. Main Street Capital, a monthly pair that I have both in my Robinhood as well as my M1, $22.50 on the Robinhood side. Kimball paid me 49 cents. Duke Energy, $2.65. So that means in Robinhood, for the 11th week, I earned a total of $43.76. Let's go ahead and pivot over to M1. Again, these are all of the dividends earned this past week. ADC paid me $1.11. Horizon Technology, 2 cents. I think this is probably going to be a special dividend. Main Street Capital, again, I own this both in M1 and Robinhood, so it paid me $23.28 on the M1 side. Mickey D's paid me $1.98. O Realty, one of my favorite monthly payers, $52.03. Stag, also in that top 3 favorite monthly payer list, $51.88. Horizon Technology, yet another monthly payer, nearly $70. ABR paid me $45.72. And then Owl Rock paid me 40 cents. So that means for M1, week 11, I earned $244.95. Let's go ahead and update the March totals here. And when we update the March totals, you'll see here, in March, I have earned a total of $360 in Robinhood, just shy of $450 in M1. That's a total in March, and we're just past the halfway point of March. I have earned a total $880 $8.45. That's fantastic because I have now already surpassed what I received in total in February. I knew that March was going to be a big month. Truth be told, I didn't realize how big of a month February was going to be. I'm still surprised that February was able to surpass what I've earned in January. So we've got some great momentum going here. Do I think that I'm going to be able to earn more in April than what I anticipate earning in March? No, I do not. But it sure was nice to keep this upward momentum. $600 in January, $742 in February. I am anticipating March will finish out somewhere between $1,800 and $1,900. So stay tuned on that. But so far in passive dividend income in 2023, I have earned $2,152.93. I am really excited about that. But remember, a long way to go because my goal in my taxable account was to earn $15,000 this year. And if we look at the progress I've made so far, I would have to be earning an average of more than $1,000 a month, somewhere around $1,100. And we really haven't been able to get to that. So I do have a plan. That plan obviously includes just doing what I do on a daily basis, which is daily cost averaging. As you guys know, in my M1, I am deploying $250 on a weekly basis. I really hope that I can significantly increase that number after I do my taxes. I am still waiting on that, so stay tuned. Kind of a longer video. I didn't focus on anything but the options that I'm currently selling calls and cash secured puts. Wanted to give you guys the rundown on dividends. Next week, I'll dive into what I purchased because this past week I did make some big purchases, taking advantage of some of the discounts that are out there given the current climate of our market. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Enjoy the weekend, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in.